Tonight, as I came home from pickleball, I decided that I'd take a little detour and look at some of the lights in the neighborhood. This is a house down the street from where I live, and they've just done a spectacular display. It reminds me when I was a kid, when oftentimes my parents would load all us kids up in the car, and we'd head out and go check on lights and see all the fancy displays in the neighborhood. This is a residential neighborhood where I play pickleball, and you see all the houses just decked in lights, snowmen, candy canes, and you go from one house to the next. And each one seems, more spectacular. You get a little variety of everything. There's Rudolph, another snowman. Just lights up the whole place. I'm not quite sure what that thing is, but I'm sure the kids know. But just a lot of fun. You see, you go from house to house, lights on every house, trains, nativity scenes, a little bit of everything. In Phoenix, we don't have a white Christmas because we don't get any snow, but we make up for it with all the spectacular light displays. You see a little bit of everything. These flashing displays are kind of cool to see, but I prefer when the lights are on pretty much all the time. Definitely works better for taking pictures. You can pay to go see zoo lights and other fancy light displays, but just to stroll around the neighborhood is about as good as anything, and it's free. One opportunity to see a lot of lights is the Electric Light Parade. Spectacular to see. Even during the day, people dress up their cars. I thought that was kind of funny. A lot of times, people have reindeer antlers hanging out the windows of their cars. You can see the shadow of my car as I drove along the road. I remember as a kid driving down Central Avenue and the decorations along the street, and there were always Santa's reindeer hanging between two high-rise buildings. It was pretty cool. As I think back on my Christmases as a youth, I also remember my grandma, Lucille McCaslin, born in England in 1903, later moved to Canada, and here she describes Christmas when she was a youth.
Buy chocolate bars, and you didn't get very much candy, so at Christmas time when you got some candy and some nuts that perhaps came from a faraway country, especially if you lived up in Canada, they didn't grow nuts in Canada, so they have to come from far away. And when I was a little girl, there weren't very many orange trees, even in California. So, and even if there were, it was a long way to ship them up to Canada, so you didn't get very many oranges in Canada. And so at Christmas time, if you got an orange, that was special. And if you lived in Western Canada, where I lived, they didn't grow apples. So the apples had to come. It took 2 or 3 days or maybe a week for apples to come, and then maybe they'd freeze on the way. So you didn't get too many apples, so if you got an apple at Christmas, that was very, very special. And you were the happiest people in the world.
This is the house out somewhat near me, just south of Baseline. They obviously have several acres, so their display is quite large. Took quite a while just to drive by it. As you look off in the distance, you're seeing out into the city. Just spectacular. But isn't it amazing to hear my grandmother talk about how great it was just to get an apple or an orange for Christmas? Can you imagine kids today if that's what they got? If that's all they got? Yep. We're pretty spoiled nowadays. Have fantastic things like this. Can just drive out and see in my neighborhood. We've got more of everything than we really need. So hopefully this Christmas you'll be grateful. Grateful for all that we have, many blessings we have. Now we're to the hill by my house, just south of Dobbins. That display was so big I couldn't really get it all. But this is back to the house down the street from me. My daughter will remember when the Boykins lived there, and as a kid she used to go there and go swimming. Just cool to see what people will do just for the benefit of their neighbors and to celebrate the holiday. I hope you're enjoying seeing some of the Christmas lights in my neighborhood. And of course, I wish you a Merry Christmas and a great holiday season and a Happy New Year. Hopefully 2022 is a great year for everyone. Have a great day and an even better year.